Imagine a morning in the year 2026 in Ciudad de Los Angeles, the city we know in our reality as Los Angeles. But here, there is no Hollywood sign on the hills. Instead, a towering, stepped palace temple of white marble dedicated to the Virgin of Guadalupe dominates the slopes. Instead of endless concrete freeways, there are wide boulevards paved with volcanic stone, where luxurious steam-powered omnibuses, adorned with gilded brass and rosewood, glide silently by. Over the city, in the golden haze of the Pacific, giant passenger airships of the Imperial fleet drift slowly, bearing the emblem of an eagle clutching a serpent. This is a world where English is merely a dialect spoken by frontier farmers in the Far East, and global diplomacy, fashion, and science speak exclusively in Spanish. There is no United States as a superpower, for its history effectively ended with the humiliating peace of 1848. Welcome to a reality where the Mexican Empire became the giant of the North. This isn't a movie scene. It was a completely plausible finale to a war that changed the course of humanity. How did one desert battle bury the American dream and create an empire upon which the sun never sets? Subscribe to the channel, because today we are cutting through the fabric of time to look into a world where California is not a state, but the wealthiest province of His Majesty, Maximilian III. Everything changed in February 1847 during the Battle of Buena Vista. In our history, American General Zachary Taylor, despite being outnumbered, held his positions. But in this universe, fate chose a different favorite. General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna, whom historians called the Napoleon of the West, did not retreat. Through a brilliant maneuver of his cavalry, he utterly crushed the American forces, taking Taylor prisoner. This defeat triggered a chain reaction. Panic erupted in Washington, and anti-war riots broke out across the northern U.S., seizing the chaos. Mexico didn't just expel the invaders. It launched a counteroffensive, supported by the British Empire, which had no desire to see a strengthened United States. The Peace Treaty of 1848 was a death sentence for Washington. The U.S. forever renounced Texas, California, and New Mexico and recognized the independence of the Rio Grande Republic under the protectorate of Mexico City. The Monroe Doctrine fell to pieces, and the concept of manifest destiny became a historical punchline. Look at this colonial America of the mid-19th century. While the U.S. fractures into small, feuding states, Mexico experiences an incredible surge. The gold found in California in 1848 now flows not into the banks of New York, but into the treasury of Mexico City. This gold finances the construction of the Transcontinental Imperial Way, the world's first network of high-speed railways connecting the Atlantic to the Pacific via the Isthmus of Tehuantepec. Mexican culture, blended with European aristocratic flair, creates a unique lifestyle. San Francisco becomes San Francisco de Asís, the world's greatest cultural hub, where instead of Levi Strauss jeans, silk ponchos, and silver-embroidered sombreros dictate high fashion. This is the era of the analog renaissance. Mexico becomes the leader in developing telegraphs and steam-powered computing engines, turning Mexico City into the world's first smart city powered by steam. Fast forward to 2026. In this world, there is no internet as we know it. Instead, there is the Great Imperial Ether Network, where information is transmitted via massive radio towers and analog computers operating on quartz crystals. Social life is centered in lavish casinos and literary clubs, where people don't discuss social media posts, but the latest editions of newspapers printed on fine parchment. This is a deeply hierarchical society, where honor and family name carry more weight than a bank balance. The economy is based on the golden peso, the world's sole global currency, backed by actual metal reserves. Without American-style globalization, every province of the Dominion has preserved its uniqueness. Texas has become the global center for livestock and fine leather goods, while California is the planet's primary agri-laboratory, growing fruits capable of curing diseases. But what happened to the former United States? In 2026, it is a confederation of small, agrarian republics stuck in the past. New England is a preserve of Puritan traditions, and the South is a territory where time has stopped. They look upon the majestic Mexico with a mix of envy and fear. In this world, there is no rock and roll, as global music developed through the complexification of classical guitar and flamenco, leading to the rise of electric tango, the dominant rhythm for the youth of 2026. There is no Hollywood. The film industry is based in Mexico City, creating massive historical epics about Aztec gods and the heroes of the War of Liberation. The world has become more refined, slower, and material. People here value the touch of velvet and the scent of real perfumes over digital simulations. Concluding our story, it's worth asking, would this world be better? The Pax Mexicana of 2026 would provide the continent with the stability and ecological balance we only dream of. But the price would be a rigid class system and the absence of the frantic progress that birthed our digital age. This is a world where the sun always shines over the domes of cathedrals, but where your destiny is determined long before your birth. Write in the comments, which do you prefer? The chaotic freedom of our world or the majestic peace of the empire of the Golden Eagle? Could the American spirit have survived in the underground of this Spanish-speaking superpower? Subscribe, because in the next episode, we head to a world where China discovered Europe and turned London into its remote protectorate. See you in the alternate reality.